I am not sure. I am not sure if my. I am not sure if my. I'm not sure if my sound is okay, but I'm gonna get started anyway. Y'all, wait. Okay, the title today. These are just my thoughts and sharing while I do my thing. The title today is that whiteness is destroying everything, and I mean that. Whiteness is literally destroying everything. Uh, we, y'all, we in trouble. Okay, we are in trouble, and I don't, I do not care. I do not care when people say, "Oh, people are just being hysterical and blah blah blah." All indications that we have show that the United States is in trouble. And why is it in trouble? Is because this is the country that it wields a lot of power, okay, globally. And this is considered a superpower. And the dollar is the standard across the world. And the truth of the matter is, if America goes, it's every man for himself. And so far, all indications say that America is going down like the Titanic. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. I think what we have here, I've heard a lot of people say it's not conspiracy theory. There are people national. They're global, and they are going to win in every that they need to win. And that doesn't include making sure that America. So this idea that the United States always wins, I think that we're at a place where that's over. The assumption that the United States always comes out on top, I think we're past that. That assumption that we've always had, oh, America, no matter what happens, America's going to thrive. It'll be okay. We're winners. We're natural born winners. I think we're done. I think we're done, y'all. Our global status as a superpower is being challenged by an unseen transnational hand of billionaires and investors. We've always heard that there was, conspiracy theories and such, power brokers, globalists existed, that they I think that they are trying to usher in. I think they're trying to usher in a new thing. They tease this idea, the Great Reset. Maybe the Great Reset isn't just a idea. Maybe the Great Reset is for real. And what does a reset mean? It means changing everything. A reset means redistribution of wealth. I think we have a problem. I think we have a serious problem, and a lot of these countries know that it's coming. BRICS ain't for nothing, okay? BRICS ain't for nothing. Just think about that. The world order, all of a sudden, they're separating themselves. They're trying to make sure that they can maintain some kind of integrity independent of the United States. That's not an accident, this creation of BRICS. The globalists have a plan, and I think that plan is being executed and sped up. That's what I believe. And none of this is conspiracy theory. I mean, you just look at how things are going. You can't make it make sense. Trump came in, and he was supposed to be some beacon of light to the people who voted for him. Supposedly, Sleepy Joe had our country stagnant, and the country wasn't great. He said he wanted to make America great again. Trump is playing a role. I believe he is a demolition operator. The globalists have sent him in. And when I say globalists, I want y'all to think about Israel too. It's not a joke that all of a sudden we're seeing Israeli politics and Israeli agendas become the American agenda. That's not a joke. We're seeing people say that you can talk about anybody in the United States, but you better not say nothing about Israel or its people. Special laws that are being put aside to deport people, to punish people, to silence people, to subdue people. Not because you're talking anti-American, but because you're talking anti-Israel. Netanyahu he's a criminal. He's a international war criminal. He has been given immunity by the powers that be that says that he can come to the superpower and he can rule part-time from the White House. I believe that the United States at this point has been taken over by another entity outside of the United States. That's what we've seen. Now, people can pretend, close their eyes and act like they don't see. But when you had a president of the United States with that title on a second trip in was he coming every month now? Is he going to be coming every month now? Is that what Netanyahu is doing? Not only do they use our money and get funding free funding for absolutely nothing. They've done nothing for the United States. Nothing. They get free funding, free money, free weapons. Send this, send that. They get a wish list. And our money is their money in Israel. Y'all, there's a global takeover. And we are seeing evidence that Netanyahu and the state of Israel is running the United States and its politics. It's a hostile takeover. And I'm not being anti-Israel and anti-Jew. I'm telling you, if I seen a Chinese doing what I'm seeing Netanyahu do, I'd say the same thing. If I saw an African country come over here and just wield our money and tell us what to do and put special protections in. We have a country where we're supposed to have free speech. That shit is out the door. There's no free speech when it comes to Israel. You will not criticize Israel. You will fund Israel. You will co-sign Israel. You will do what Israel says. And when you're the president of the United States, when Netanyahu, the leader, the representative of Israel comes, you will basically open his chair for him. You will see him like he's royalty. Do you understand what I'm saying? The images of that. This is subliminal, but it's symbolic. There's all kind of servants, people who could lift that man's chair for him. There's a reason why the visual of Trump meeting with Netanyahu, like he's a proxy president and Netanyahu is the emperor. And when he comes, Trump is his servant. That's what it looks like. It don't make no sense. So we got to ask ourselves, if Israel, by proxy, our representatives through AIPAC, if they have access to our country, if they're calling shots and making our military and our people their tools, our money becomes their money. What does that mean for us as black people, as white people, as Americans? What does that mean for us? Do you think that Israel cares about our Social Security? Do you think they care about our infrastructure? Do you think Israel, if given the full reins, they're trying to indoctrinate us. They're trying to make that normalized. To see Netanyahu come to the White House, they're trying to normalize that, y'all. They're trying to normalize it. They're trying to get us used to the idea that Netanyahu is in residence at the White House, that he can visit with his internationally criminal ass, full immunity, war crimes, using our money, starting wars, using our military to fight people, using our money to fund the welfare state of Israel. Our money is their money. They are trying to piece by piece, make us understand that Israel is in charge of America, that Netanyahu is the emperor of the USA. This is the United States of Israel. That's where we are now. All evidence proves that. There is no other country that can yield another country's military the way that is happening right now. I have never seen that before. On demand, you have someone fighting wars. This is what happened to America first. If you even believed in that, what happened to America first? It looks like Israel first. Whatever Israel needs, we are all the way over here. We are across the water. There is no direct threat to the United States of America from anywhere in the Middle East. There is no direct threat. There is no reason that we have to be over there fighting the Yemeni. They're not messing with American ships. They're messing with, harassing Israeli ships. They're not messing with American ships. They're not messing with Americans. Americans are messing with them because of Israel. We are starting problems and conflicts. And you know who's going to pay for it? The American people. Because there are sleeper cells. There are terrorists. That's what we call them. In our midst. There are people waiting for the word. And who's going to pay with what blood? American blood. American people. American institutions. It's going to be on us. It's going to be our fault. It's going to be retaliation on us. So we're going to have to sacrifice. Do we need another 9/11? I'm just saying. Is that where we're going? Because the United States keeps on taking on Israel's problems as its own, stirring up people who ain't bothering you. And when it comes, it's going to be, woe is me. Why did they do that to us? What did we do so bad? And then we play stupid. But it's the shit that's going on right now. The United States should be able to tell Israel, listen, you're not an ally. You don't do shit for us. You don't make anything. We're not concerned. Your problems are your problems. Your best bet would be for you to learn how to get along with these Arabs. Your best bet would be to give Gaza and shit. Truth be told, get your ass off their land all the way from the river to the sea. That should be the conversation. If we really wanted peace, that would be the conversation. How about you motherfuckers pack up your little passports, your dual citizenship, and go the fuck back where you came from? That would be the real honest conversation. You the one over here invading. You the one fucking with people. You the one stealing land. You the one killing people. That would be the conversation if this was about peace and this really wasn't about whiteness destroying the world. This is whiteness destroying the world, y'all. And it's so sad. And I think that's the interesting thing. Because black people, we instinctually know. Black people, we already know. We know this shit ain't got nothing to do with us. We ain't created none of this. That's why black people is like, I ain't marching. I ain't this. I ain't that. Because you know what? Black people, we don't do this shit. People can talk shit about us. Oh, these black people, they're ghetto. Black people and educated. About black people. But you know what black people don't do? We don't fucking create bombs. We don't shoot up people. Mass killings. We don't kill hundreds of thousands of people. We don't steal people's land. That's not what black people do. Whatever you want to say about us, that's the shit we don't do. We do not destroy whole civilizations just because we feel like it. We are when you look at the whole totality of it, we are the most non-violent motherfuckers on the planet. Black people. We don't blow up shit. We don't fuck with people. We don't do it. We don't want to do it. Globally, black people don't fuck up shit. It is whiteness that is destroying the world. I don't give a whole fuck. You've had 500, 600 years of propaganda about whiteness. But that's the truth nobody wants to talk about. Why is it that the white male is destroying the world? Why is that? Why do they create weapons of mass destruction? Why do they create all of this stuff? It's just confusion. It's chaos. Why do white males feel? Why does whiteness feel it necessary? All of this stuff. Let's go back to the beginning, y'all. Let's go back to the beginning. If we just really look at it like organically, let's go back to the beginning. People have always, right, gathered together in nations. That's normal. Tribes and nations. Okay? And people have learned how to conduct themselves and govern themselves in small groups of their own nation. Common people, common language, common everything. They're the ones who went to Africa and stole the land and taught people how to enslave each other in brutal ways. Think about that. They taught people how to dehumanize. That is never how Africans were before they came in contact with the Europeans. They had prisoners of war, but they never disavowed your humanity when you was a prisoner of war. You were a prisoner of war for a particular period of time. And then you were released back to your regular life. You were not a slave for life. Okay? So let's get that together first. Then you think about it. How in the hell do you decide that you own a piece of land? The concept of owning a piece of land is a concept in and of itself. You understand? How do you own anything? We got to go back to the basics. I know we've accepted this shit, but you think about it, when the totality of it, all of this is whiteness that creates this. This is my land. That's your land. And if it's my land, then you can't come on my land. Right? And so how do we in whiteness determine what land is? Well, I can push you off of the land because now it's mine. We can play all them kind of games. Territories. It's mine. It's not yours. You can't. This is not how people of color, Asians and other people, this is not how things have been done. Let's just keep it real. They created these systems of land ownership and land access. It's not enough land for everybody. We can't share it. Somebody has to leave. Somebody has to. That's whiteness. That's whiteness. God created the land. But you can't have those conversations because we're too far gone. We're too far gone. You can't have a conversation about why are we even calling something a piece of property that someone owns. You can't own God's land. Nobody wants to have that conversation. That's too much like indigenous. That's too much like natural. Humans have roamed the planet. That's how we got everywhere for millions of years. But then whiteness comes and said, no, no, no. We don't like free land owned by God that all human beings, animals, and everything has access to. Oh, no, no, we don't like that. We want to own land. The Native Americans could not even understand the concept. They signed treaties and did not understand the actual concept of land ownership because it was foreign and it was strange. And the concept itself seemed, it doesn't make sense. How do you own land? So this is the first problem. Not only do they want to own land, they want to create territories, okay? Exclusive territories, and they deny access to them. So what do? They create something called countries and kingdoms, okay? Countries and kingdoms, and this is where colonialism comes in. So not only will I claim and steal land where I am, I will claim and steal land where other people already are. I will put them off the land. The Native Americans, the Africans, everybody knows colonialism. It's a very evil, evil concept. Only a demon would think of it. Not only am I going to take the land where I am and claim it and deny access to all, as if there is no God and this is not God's land, I am going to go and get on a boat and I'm going to go and take more land that's already inhabited by others. Thus enters Israel. You understand? This shit is evil. But they think it's natural and they think it's normal because that's whiteness. They think it's natural and they think it's good because that's whiteness. Let's go back to the root. Let's go back to the beginning. Okay? Let's go back to the root. So you create so-called nation states and you're denying access. Well, how do you do that? You have to draw maps and shit, right? You got to draw maps. You got to tell everybody what their territory is and what it ain't. It's off limits to you. It's available to you, right? Colonialism. And then you turn around and you have to create a system to keep people where you want them to stay. So what do we have? Enters the passports. Enters this whole idea of sovereignty, and citizenship. So you can't be a global. People ask me all the time, what are you? I am an American because I was born here, but I am a global citizen. I tell people that all the time. I am a global citizen. I have to play along with the passport because that's the world we live in. But you know that shit is crazy. That a human being cannot move freely across the globe and the planet. Who the fuck said? You see what I'm saying? The perversion of humanity is why the whiteness is destroying the world. The perversions of humanity. That doesn't make any sense. We all been playing along with it for so long. But then when things start going into pure chaos and foolishness. Do you know the other day they were saying that they were going to stop certain people from coming to the United States? They were going to restrict them from coming with a passport. If they can do that to stop people and restrict people's movement across the world with a passport, that means somebody like me who's a United States citizen who has been traveling freely could also be restricted. Is that a form of punishment? Is that now a privilege? Right? Is it a reward and a punishment now? That one can maintain a passport? Is it going to be something they only keep for the elite? And those who are not elite cannot travel? I'm just saying, we don't know where this is going. I never even heard of anybody talking about restricting people's movement with their passport. If you do something stupid, yeah, right? But just because, like they just want to do a sweeping broad, people can't have passports or people can't come here or leave there. This is insane. And I was very afraid during COVID. I was very, very afraid during COVID. And the reason why I was very afraid during COVID is because for the first time in my life, I was not able to move freely across the planet as I'm used to, okay? I was very, very concerned and very, very nervous about that. I would even say I was miserable. For 3 years, I did not travel until they had the COVID restrictions taken away. Then I was able to travel. I ended up going to Morocco and Paris. But I put that trip off for 3 years. They restricted my freedom. I own a property in the Dominican Republic. I couldn't go to my property. What if I actually said, you know what, fuck this shit. I want to leave the United States. I'm gone. I'm going to go to my property and I'm just move on with my life. That was supposed to be an option. I couldn't even get on a plane. I couldn't even get on a plane because the government said that if you didn't get this shot in your body, that you wasn't going nowhere. Too much control, too much power. The ship is going down. Whiteness is destroying the world. So now they get to dictate your body and what you do with your body. You see what I'm saying? Whiteness is destroying the world. So you create a disease in laboratories. Who does that? Whiteness is destroying the world. Who wants to create deadly pandemic diseases for fun, for manipulation, for punishment, for whatever reason? Why do you want to play with God? That's my problem with them. They always want to play with God. Stop playing with God. The planet belongs to itself. Who the hell are you to restrict people and tell people who can come and who can go? Who the hell are you to take people's land that they've been living on for years, farming? Grandfather, great-grandfather, we're inhabiting that land, and here you come and you tell them, nah, you just gotta go so I can build some skyscrapers. Whiteness is killing the world. Whiteness is destroying the world. I'm just telling you. And they try to demonize people of color. They try to act like, oh, you know, those Negroes, they're always doing something wrong. Those black people, boy, they just out of control. They're wild. No. That's a deflection from real evil. That's a deflection from real fucking evil. You look at Gaza, look at the Europeans and what they're doing. Look at Germany. Germany is one of the most evilest ass countries on the fucking planet. They like murder and killing. They don't matter who it is. They tried to kill Jews, and now the Jews trying to kill other people. They with. They like killing. Whoever you want to get killed, whoever you want killed, Germany supports it. Okay? Germany, that's their nature. Them motherfuckers like a good death. These people get hard off of blowing up people. They think it's cute. They think it's powerful to just take lives, blow up children, blow up babies. This is evil. Black people of color, we don't do that shit. White is destroying the world. So these passports and this stuff, you know, you think about it. The exploitation. You know, the diamond mines, stealing, the East India Tea Company. This is all stealing. These motherfuckers been stealing. They've been stealing land. They've been stealing resources. They've been stealing labor. They've been stealing everything. And then they stand around, like, you know, on a high horse and act like everybody else is the fucking problem. They act like everybody else is the fucking problem. You are the problem. You the one keep playing with God, with your GMO, with your atom bombs, with your missiles. All this shit. This globalization, exploiting the people who live in poor countries for their labor, paying them pennies so you can benefit. These transnational corporations, these corrupt ass governments that don't give a damn. It's just a power broken. Governments are not anything except to keep the regular everyday people in order so that the rich people can pillage. And so what we're seeing right now is capitalism, which is another creation of whiteness. Capitalism is a creation of whiteness. Now, I'm not promoting socialism or any other system, but what I'm telling you is the excuse they have, oh, it's modern, so it's right. You call it modern. Is it really fucking good, though? Fuck modern. Is it any good? For the most. Is it good for the all? Who is it serving? You call it modernization. That's your excuse for pushing something forward that doesn't work for everybody. You call it modernization. Is this proliferation of weapons? Is that fucking modernism? Is that good for everybody? Every motherfucker can blow every motherfucker up. Is that good? And then you got some people who can have it and some people who can't. So then we get to the haves and the have-nots and all the privileges. Who decides who's king? You have a country, right? Or a collaboration of countries who actually pick. We're supposed to have democracy, which is a lie. Because as soon as you do something as a leader in a third world country or developing country that the other westernized countries or the EU doesn't like, or God forbid, the United States, the big superpower, the big bully, as soon as you do something as a leader they don't like, they take your ass out. So much democracy, right? So basically we have a system set up to keep the global south in order. You do what we say. Whiteness is destroying the world. You do what we say, or we take you out. We kill you. We take over your whole country. Again, this is just colonialism in a new form. So who's really fucking evil? I go back to that over and over again. Because people love to talk about the backwardness of the brown people and the Asian people and the so and so. They're so backward. They don't understand anything. They're not developed. They're so behind. I think if you have technology and modernization on your side and you have a society in a world that's getting fucking worse, maybe you're backwards. Just maybe you're backwards. Maybe we don't need all that shit. Maybe we don't need your GMO. Maybe we don't need your cancer. Maybe we don't need your COVID and your vaccines and all your other crazy shit. And I tell you what, it's the last stand, y'all. It's the last stand. It is the last fucking stand. You hear me? And they know it. I'm not trying to be racist, but they're in their last fucking leg. It's the last stand. It's the last fucking stand. Let me tell you why it's the last fucking stand. They are panicking. They're cutting a fool because they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. They will destroy themselves. No matter what they do to us, just like African Americans, no matter what you do to us, we will always be here. We're not going anywhere. You, on the other hand, you're not that blessed and that lucky. You're not. Do you guys know that whiteness is only 7% of the global world? Let me say it again. Whiteness is only 7% of the global world. That means they have a finite number, and they know it. That's the memo I keep talking about. That shit went out. The time is up. The time is up because the world can't exist like this. It's too much. Right now, capitalism is eating itself. That's what we're experiencing. And y'all listen, it's not going to be a joke. I'm not being paranoid. I'm telling you what I know. It's not going to be a joke. Capitalism, which is a creation of whiteness, is going to eat itself. And you know what itself is? The United States. It's going to eat itself. That's what you're watching right now. Don't close your eyes. Do not close your fucking eyes. Don't close your eyes. I want you to look. And I want you to watch. And I want you to remember. I've been reading about this shit. This global reset. This new world order. I've been reading about this shit since I was 16 years old. Why y'all think I had decided to take my ass and get some property in another country? Because I feel like it? No. In preparation for these days. Because I knew that the United States is going to fall. And I'm not lying to you. People who knew me from back then, they'll tell you. I studied this shit so much I know it's a fact. And now that I'm seeing it, I'm not afraid. A lot of people are panicking and they're upset and all that stuff. I saw this coming. Many of us who have been readers and aware of this, I don't know what to call it, this power, this global power. And it's not hard to know. All you got to do is look at the history of it. This whiteness has been doing what it's been doing since the beginning of time. It's been doing this. This ain't nothing new. Like I said, go back to the East India Tea Company. Go back to colonialism. If you got good sense and you know history, this ain't no surprising shit. It's just a whole new level. And right now they have to speed it up. They have to speed it up because they don't want anybody to resist it. We got too much technology. Too many people can do too many things, right? And so they have to use people control technology because it can become a weapon. So they have to weaponize technology. They have to get people to behave and obey. And so what I would suggest to you is they're trying their best to speed this up because this next generation, which is generation, I'm going to say generation A, they're trying to build a world where generation A is born into a circumstance and a situation that they will not be able to resist because they won't know any better. Okay? They are restructuring and resetting the world so that when generation A comes, they will be under complete, total control. The boomers are almost gone. Okay? I'm talking globally. The boomers, the old people who know, it'll be the old days, right? If you think about some of these Hollywood shows, it's always the old people who are reminiscing. I remember when we were free. I remember when we could speak. I remember when we had books, right? So this is why they have to speed it up because they're trying to prepare the world to be conditioned so that when generation A comes along, these motherfuckers will be so deaf, dumb, and stupid. They will have no history, no understanding for real, of what the world should have been like. Think about Generation Z right now. These motherfuckers is gone. Okay? They're already gone. They don't like school. They don't want to fucking learn. They don't have no respect. They don't have any sense of order. I'm just telling you. Most of them. They don't have any appreciation for how things are made and the value of money. Most of these motherfuckers don't want to work. They don't value education. I'm Generation X. I value education. I was taught a certain way. I was told that I had freedom of speech and all these types of things. These next new generations are going to be brought up understanding that freedom of speech is a privilege and it's only given some people to talk about some people some of the time. But mostly talk about nobody all the time. Shut your fucking mouth. You don't have an opinion. Generation A is going to grow up with no fucking education. Watch what I say. They're going to do a reset at Generation A. And this is why it is very important for them to speed it up as fast as they can. And you'll notice what's so sad is it's all boomers. It's all boomers. It's the boomer generation that is speeding up everything so that Generation A is lost, deaf, dumb, and blind. When you get a generation who is indoctrinated, they're going to grow up having seen Netanyahu, right? He ain't going to live that long, but I'm just saying. But imagine if you grow up and that's all you ever seen was the Israeli president coming to tell the United States president what to do and where to spend his money and standing in Congress like he's a fucking king or emperor. And you grow up seeing that, then that's the norm. See, Generation X will have to be dead, right? They got to speed it up so they can have a whole generation to manipulate and play games with. This is where AI comes in. Why do y'all think that why do you think AI is so important? Why are they so ready to invest in that? Because they're going to create alternative reality. They're going to rewrite history. They're going to retell tales. They're going to make pictures and videos and propaganda very much like North Korea does. They're going to follow the communist protocol when it comes to propaganda. That's what they're going to do. They're going to rewrite everything. And we're going to just have the dear leader, right? The dear leader, like MAGA, who no matter what he does, no matter how stupid, no matter how imbecile, no matter how fractured and fucked up it is, the dear leader must be worshipped at all costs. That's MAGA. These kids are going to be indoctrinated to be just like that. They're going to follow a populist regime. They're going to not ask any questions or have any demands. They're going to work like slaves to have very little. And in China, the kids already know. That's what they time paying. The Chinese kids are like, how many years do you think you're going to exploit our labor? We saw our great-grandfather, our grandfather, our father. We saw you do this, and they have nothing to show for all the lies, the propaganda. And they quit. They time paying. I'm just saying. Whiteness is destroying the world. And back to this idea. How are they going to survive? They won't. They will not survive. And I'm not being racist. I'm telling you some biological facts. I'm telling you some biological facts. See, white men have been so evil and hateful towards white women that the time has come where white women don't want to fool with white men at all. And that's why they have a negative growth rate. They've had a negative growth rate for a very, very long time. This is why Europe has a very slow birth rate across the whole fucking continent. These white men, what did Elijah Muhammad say? A nation can rise no higher than its woman. Facts. And the Europeans have always, the white men in Europe, they've always had, white men in any country, they've always had their neck on white women's, they've always had their foot on white women's neck. Thus enters the feminist movement. This is another creation of whiteness. Whiteness will destroy the world. Okay? 7% of the nations, and tell you of the global population. Let me tell you something. Do you think that Africans are having any issues with population growth, birth rates? No. Do you think the Latin world is having any issues with population growth, birth rates? No. Matter of fact, they are spreading like a plague across all of the world. The Arabs, the Africans, the Latino people, they are going everywhere because there's so much room to move around. This is why the white folk want to restrict the people of color. They want you to go where you came from. They don't want you there because you're intermixing, right? Your population is taking over now. They are petrified when they look around in France and they see, damn, most of the people who live in France are Arab and African and everything else. They're petrified. They want to send everybody back where they came from. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Even in the United States, they want to revoke naturalization. It's not going to work. Try as you might. Things are in place. Whiteness will destroy the world. You can't control people's population. This is one of the things that Bill Gates has set his mind to do. Do you know how much money he has spent? He's made it his one goal in life. I can't wait for half of these motherfuckers to die off, honestly. I hope all of them die off and die off fast. They're all boomers. They're all old white men. They are the problem, the scourge of the world. Whiteness will destroy the world. They are trying so hard to control people's reproduction. They want Africans to stop having children. They want, and the Asians, let me say this before I go further. The reason why Asians is fucked up is because they've been following whiteness. They've been following white culture. This is why the Asians, a place like China, right, had a crazy booming population to the point where they had to say, hey, y'all, how about y'all only have one kid? Because I don't think our society, our community, economics can stomach this many fucking people. Oh, they was reproducing like rabbits. Billions of people out of China. And now China's like, oh shit, we need more people. Following behind the white folks. See? That consumer culture and all this other stuff they're doing, it's too much. They think it's the right thing, but it's not. When you follow behind whiteness, you're gonna lose. And that's why Asia, certain parts of Asia, are suffering when it comes to birth rates and replacement rates for their population. You following behind whiteness. You can't be white. Whiteness is not the thing to do because it's not natural. I'm just being honest. Whiteness is not fucking natural. A-bombs is not natural. GMO is not natural. DNA splicing is not natural. And the excuse is always, everybody's backwards because they don't use technology. No, you want to play God, baby. And you can't win when you want to play God. That's what they never understood. They will never understand that. And that's why there's 7% of the population. And I'm not being racist. I'm telling you facts. They create colonialism. They create these borders. They create passports. They create bombs. They create all these, you can't trade with me and I got a tariff and all this shit. People just traded. But they say that's progress. That's a lie. It's propaganda. You say it's progress. People used to just trade. I have something you want, let's trade. These are motherfuckers that come up with interest and banking and all this bullshit, making money out of no money, fake money, not backed by gold. Then it's backed by gold. Then it's credit. Now it's somewhere in the air. Crypto. This is not real. It's a fake world. It's a fake world based on nothingness. And now the matrix is falling apart. That's what's going on. The fake world, this anti-God world they've created, is falling apart. It's falling off. It's falling off because you can't maintain fakeness. You can't maintain speculation. Making money off no money. Come on. Different stupid things. So now, here we sit. We have a kingdom built on dirt. Okay? We got a kingdom built on dirt. A kingdom of dirt. And it starts to rain. And it's raining so hard like a monsoon that now we just have mud. Y'all, we in the mud. We in the mud and we ain't coming out. They know we're not coming out. And it's like a propaganda because they got to push it. They got to push it. They got to press it. They got to put their foot on the gas and not let up. Full speed. And trust me, the globalists, they've already moved their money around. This is why Congress is quiet. They're part of the global elite. They're part, but they're part of, they play their role. They're on AIPAC's payroll. They do what they're told. They're not elected. That's a lie. It's a kingdom, an empire of dirt. And the water is washing it away. The water is washing away. He said he was going to drain the swamp. At this point, he ain't doing nothing but digging the swamp. Nothing's going to work anymore, guys. This kingdom of dirt is all mud now. The veils are off. The lies are being exploited. You don't know who to believe. Who controls what you hear? Who controls what you see? Who controls what you can say? It's over. And I'm not being mean. I'm just telling y'all that the America that we knew, or we thought we knew, the system we thought we could depend on is no more. The gloves are off. This idea that we have to do stuff as a people for our country. Y'all, nationalism, patriotism, this shit's over. I wouldn't be surprised if the United States government becomes open to the idea of using our military for profit. You just send the United States military wherever you want to send it if you bid high enough. I won't be surprised if we go there. We're almost there. Military for hire. The United States government's military, I believe at this point, is a military for hire. That's what I think. That's what it looks like. And the thing is, we want to be blind. We're still going back to our pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Oh, say, can you? We're still there. We're still trying to be there, but we're not there, guys. We're not there anymore. Because the greater good is not the goal anymore. Social Security is a problem for billionaires and investors. It's a problem. They need to get rid of it. They don't care that you paid into it. I didn't pay into it. My career as a teacher, I did not pay into Social Security. I'm not concerned for me. I'm concerned, though, for everybody who had paid into it. Because we as good Americans have learned to care about others. We've learned that we're interconnected. That's what we believe, that we're interconnected, that what happens to me matters to you. And what happens to you matters to me. Okay? But the globalists, the Donald Trumps, they don't give a fuck. They don't care. They do not care. They care about money. Look at Gaza. They do not care about fairness. They do not care about children and babies, newborns, pregnant women, old people. They don't care. There is no humanity. The way they're treating Gaza is what they're doing to us now. Capitalism will eat itself, and that's where we're at right now. Capitalism. Karl Marx said this a long time ago. The Communist Manifesto. He said this a long time ago. He said that capitalism at some point will speed itself up to the rate that it can no longer sustain itself. It will literally eat itself. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. But nobody wants to actually believe that that's what's happening right now. Eating itself. People want money, and they desire money so much that they become completely immoral. Nothing matters. They become nihilists. Only money matters. That's where we're at right now. And you can't stop that kind of mentality. And when you give people money, absolute power corrupts absolutely. You've given them the power. You can't take it back. Everybody's for sale. Everybody can be intimidated. Everybody can be bought. Now we have it to the point where there's no democracy. Elon Musk can literally go and say, I'm giving away $1 million for every vote. And that's okay. How's that democracy? They're destroying the ideals that we believed in, that we were indoctrinated. All the propaganda they put on us, it's over. It's painful. It's hard. Okay? But all the evidence says that it's over. They're doing the unseen, the undone. They're doing the things they said they couldn't do because it was not legal. It's against the Constitution. The Constitution doesn't mean anything anymore. We have emperors now. We have kings now. We have billionaires, big guys who represent big interest groups and transnational corporations. This is not America anymore. This is being ran by like a corporation. And it's about who the stakeholders are, not the citizens. I want y'all to hear me well. This is the problem. It's about the stakeholders of America, the transnational corporations and all the NGOs and all the big time billionaires and players. This is who it's about. It's not about citizens anymore. It's not about everyday people. You're a mere cog in a machine. And when they get their AI the way they want it with all these investments, they won't need you anymore either. They won't need any of us. They won't need any of us. And then I think that the time of segregation is going to come. I think this is a class war. And there's going to come a time of segregation. And the reason why I say that is because Hollywood was built by the people who understand the vision. And in most of these post-apocalyptic movies, these dystopian visions that they create in Hollywood, most of the time you will see that. The haves and the have-nots. We saw it in The Handmaid's Tale, right? It becomes a privilege to be able to live in a certain place. And everybody else is basically a mere serf, a peasant to the system. That's going to happen. This disillusion. What's the word I'm looking for? They are executing right now every kind of way they can to make the wealth, whatever amount of wealth that people have, whatever amounts of security that people have, they are taking it right now. That's the issue. That's the issue. They are systematically taking it right now. So if you have had safeguards such as Social Security, that's being taken. So you're going to basically be walking around as a vulnerable human being who is more focused on survival and how to eat, how to pay rent. You're not going to have any room to move. No hopes. Like that whole America, you just work hard, put your head down, keep working, and be, industrious and resourceful, save your money, be consistent, you'll be fine. Those days are over. Those days are over. This idea of hope and stuff like that, it's over. They got to get us to the point where we're ready. We got to get so poor, okay? Because the layoffs are coming, y'all. The layoffs. The federal government is already laying people off. Now, with this stock market, he's playing with the stock market. He's destabilizing everything that people need and everything people need and people rely on. He's destabilizing it. So now what you're going to see is the private sector is about to start layoffs, mass layoffs. The government has already started mass layoffs. And so what's going to happen is the government is going to stop functioning. You can't call the IRS because they fired everybody. Extremely dysfunctional. Social Security, Veterans Affairs, all these things that people have relied on. The FBI will be a weapon to investigate and to basically control, censor, and punish people. It will no longer be something that prevents, chaos among the citizens for our own benefit. The FBI and things like that have always been there to safeguard human beings, citizens, taxpayers, to make sure that the bad people, the exploiters, the people who commit RICO violations, right, break the law, organized crime, it's always been there to protect us and keep law and order. The FBI will no longer function for the citizens, for law and order, to protect us from organized crime and people who are economically, basically people who are here to exploit us economically. It's not going to be there anymore. It's not going to function that way. It's going to be used as a punishment mechanism, a witch hunt, to censor and control people. Homeland Security is already looking like that. It's been like that, right? Dissidents and people like that, you're punished. I remember not many months ago, Scott Ritter had the guy come into his home to intimidate and interrogate him. I suggest to you there are several people who are on the list who will be next. I believe that Candace Owens, some people say she is controlled opposition. I believe Candace Owens, talking about the white folks, she's basically pointing out, whether you like it or not, she's pointing out the ways that the white folks are destroying the world. She's pointing it out, and they don't like that. So Candace Owens, I believe, is going to be somebody who's going to become a target to the powers that be, the globalists and all that. She already has Macron and his wife have already sent her some threatening letters, right? And she has her backing from her white husband. I don't know at what point they're going to put pressure on Candace Owens' white husband and tell him that he needs to shut his black bitch up. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I suspect that it will. I suspect it will. Okay? And we already know with 4 children, her duty is to her husband. If her husband say, shut the fuck up, bitch, she'll shut the fuck up. And I think white men know that too. So when they get tired of Candace running her mouth and creating trouble, opposition or not, she'll be quiet. They'll shut her up. They ain't got serious with her yet. I haven't seen any signs of them being serious with her yet. They talked about her like a dog yesterday. They keep doing these propaganda campaigns, but Candace is a little bit, she's not slow. Candace don't give a fuck. You know why? Because Candace, she had to go through something I talked about yesterday when I was talking to my friend. There is a point when you are black and you are in a white environment that you actually reason that you are the same. You think you're the same. You get all these privileges, they let you in, they recognize you, they validate you in certain ways, and you're like, yeah, I'm part of the club. Whiteness is respecting me. I guess I'm kind of white. You think so? And then one fucking fine day, they show you the goddamn door. I've been shown the door. I know what it looks like. I know how it feels. They showed Candace the door. They showed her, bitch, you are black. Not only are you black, you're a black female. And I know you think you smart, and I know you think you got... They put that in her face. You got a white husband, that's cool. But you know, the good old boys, the white men, the powerful men, they showed her the door. They showed her the door. And they didn't just show her the door. They put power behind it. They showed her that we can wield propaganda in a matter of just a blink of an eye. And we can make you look like a rat. A rat. How do y'all think she got to be the anti-Semite of the year? They've been whooping Candace's ass. You hear me? They've been showing her the door in every which way they can. They've been doing it nice compared to what they could do. Okay? Today there was a media blitz. They've been dragging Candace Owens. They drag her. They didn't drag her so many times. They uninvited her from everything. They promised her stuff and didn't follow through. They've been dragging the whole fuck out of Candace. That's why I be looking at Candace. I be like, girl, I'm with you, cause man, the pressure your ass is under, and the fact that you still going is amazing. It's a fucking amazing. Cause she has a whole bunch of white men who don't like that talk. They don't like it. And she ain't really got nasty with it the way she could. She kind of backs herself up a little bit. You know, she be talking about them folks And they say, are you talking about the Israeli people? And oh, no. I'm not talking about the small hats. I was just saying. She ain't stupid. But there's a transnational power broking entity globally that is hell bent on tearing the United States down, resetting it. In my opinion, I believe that the United States, it's not like we're going to be blown up. I think the pain is going to come because everything we ever believed in, we're going to watch before us everything disappear and never return again. That is going to be painful. Watching Social Security disappear, all the things that people think are for the citizens, we will just become servants of a state, and the state will not serve us. That is going to be that is going to be painful to watch. The government is not for the people and by the people. The elections are not real. Nothing is real. This is going to be painful. To watch the resources that we used to have, the cities, become dilapidated. Okay? We're going to watch, and you guys know something? This whole thing about the immigrants leaving, it's not real. It was a show for 90 days. So that idea that we're going to be safer, that's propaganda. Those people who come here and continue to come, they're going to come because they're going to be the cheap labor. Until Americans break and they start saying, I don't mind working for $8. But by the time we lose these good jobs, you see why the reset is necessary? Because we're working at $50 an hour and $40 an hour. They have to break us. We got to lose jobs. We got to get laid off so that we will be so desperate that we will come back to the table and take $8 like an uneducated immigrant would. They got to get us there. Because it's not about us anymore. It's about, can you serve the global agenda? Can you be a factory worker? Can you beat the wages of China? Because we want to do something here. We want to own prisons here. These prisons, I don't know if y'all seen this, but you need to look at the private prison industrial complex. The private prisons have tripled in value. They plan to put a lot of people in jail. Mm-hmm. They're going to have slave and free labor like they do in China. Very, very cheap labor. I'm not saying they have free labor in China. I'm saying it's damn near free. Okay, I see a comment. You said, hey, Miss May, Candace speaks her mind. Yes, she does. Candace speaks her mind. She does. And I think if she's not careful, it's going to cost her. She's not alone. The other motherfucker that might need to watch their back is Elon Musk. I think he's gotten beyond his money. And he actually thinks he's free. He needs to be careful. He believes his own hype. He needs to be very careful. Elon Musk might come up missing, sick, or some other shit. He needs to be real careful, Elon Musk. He believes his own hype. There's these international powerful power brokers, and they don't give a fuck about none of that shit. People will never see. Been there for years, generations. How do you say aristocracy? Okay? Old money. Representing a lot of people who have old money. They don't give a fuck about you. And so what I think is going to happen, it's going to be painful. We're going to watch the economy crumble, you guys, slowly. We're going to watch Trump continue to make mistakes. And because most of his followers of this populist movement of MAGA, most of them are intoxicated with the fantasies that he's fed them of making America great and all this other propaganda. And they're going to be, slowly rocked to sleep. And the more things he does that are anti-American, the more things he does that tear our society down, the more structure that falls away, the more services, the veteran services, the taxes, the security, the military, all of the things, the Social Security. Y'all, do y'all think they're gonna allow the Department of Labor to function during this time? No, no, they're not gonna be paying out no unemployment. It's not gonna happen. People are about to be suffering because the private and the public sector are going to be doing mass layoffs. And he's going to do everything opposite. Listen, listen, listen. People don't want to hear this. Trump is going to do every single thing he can to demolish the American economy. He has been given a mission. All the people who are scholars and economic people, they're all saying, hey, wait a minute. What's this scratchy math you're doing? Why does this not make sense? And you're saying it over and over and over again. You saw Elon Musk. He's cutting stuff and he's throwing numbers around that don't make sense. It doesn't matter. You understand? The numbers don't matter. Making it make sense, having an equation, the reason why you're doing something, it has an actual positive outcome. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just keep the propaganda going and they are demolishing America, okay? Globalists are going to make money. You think they're not restructuring before they make these moves? They're not putting their money in the right places. They're not supporting themselves and boosting themselves in every single move that's made. This is all designed. It's all planned. And the people who need to know. And they're acting accordingly. We can't see all of that. But all it takes is for you to understand the history of whiteness and understand that capitalism eventually will eat itself. We are eating ourselves, crumbling from the inside. And we have allies like Netanyahu and others who are imposing their will upon the United States. It is no longer a superpower. It is a transnational corporation that is being ran by all kinds of unseen globalist hands. And that's just that simple. They don't give a fuck about us. The citizens don't matter. The workers don't matter. AI and technology will replace us. Immigrants who work for $6, $5 an hour will replace us. It doesn't matter. They're going to take our job. We're already seeing it. Are we in denial? Are we going to pretend? Are we going to go back to our political rhetoric, left and right, blue and red? Are we going to stick to that and be stupid? There is a controlled demolition of the United States. It's called the Great Reset, where the wealthy will take back all the wealth and the resources, and they will leave us to be peasants, just like kings and serfs. This is not whiteness. Is this not whiteness? Kings and serfs, kings and slaves. Is this not whiteness? Whiteness will destroy the world. Full circle. Full circle. None of this is good for business. None of this is good for small business. None of this is good for import, export. None of this is good. You can't find a way this is good. Small businesses are going to close down. People are going to stop spending money. I'm going to give you one real quick example. Let me read what was said. You said, it's doom and gloom. Huh? No, it's not doom and gloom. It's good for them. That's the thing. It's not doom and gloom. I'm just telling you what it is. And we got to just be prepared to accept what it is. That's all. It's not doom and gloom. It's a reset. There's no emotion behind that. It's a reset. The disappointment is going to come because like people are disappointed right now. They're going to town halls. They're screaming. They're hollering because this is not, the boomers particularly, this is not the America they were sold, but it's a reset. It's a new America. It's a trans corporation ran outside force that doesn't care about Americanism, American people, citizenship, all that patriotic. That shit doesn't matter. This is a transnational corporation. There's no gloom and doom about it. It's just a fact. And the problem is that people are not going to accept it because we have been indoctrinated differently. We have patriot. That shit doesn't matter. Do you have any money? Are you part of the board, right? Are you actually a member who has lots and lots of money and you contribute something? Then you matter. But if you're not part of this elite class, you don't matter. It's a new reset. So there's no doom and gloom to it. You're just an afterthought. We're all afterthoughts. It's just what it is. This ain't no new shit. We're just actually seeing it being implemented. I didn't make it up. The new reset. The Great Reset. I didn't make that up, but we see it everywhere. Reset to what? Reset for who? Reset of what? I'm not making it up. The New World Order. I'm not making that up. That's there. And if you look at some of these globalist meetings, they tell you what they're doing. You got to just research. Even on YouTube, there is the what you call it forum, and he said that what we got to do is reset everything, basically to get people to a place where they're desperate. They know at the world, what's it called? The World Forum. What is it called? The Global World Forum. They say it in plain sight. There's no gloom and doom. That's the goal. They got money. They can do anything they want to do because whiteness worships money, fake money, and an empire built of dirt, but nonetheless, there's no doom and gloom. You said these are liberal scholars. See, that's what I'm saying. That's part of the propaganda, DDS. That's part of the propaganda. You have to indoctrinate people. You understand indoctrination? You give them the talking points. You give them the things they need to say, the counterpoints and the points, and you keep circling them around. It's like a dog chasing his tail. You're programming people to think one way. And that's the thing. They've gotten people thinking, okay, I'm right. I'm on the left. And they've played that game for a long time, but now it's the Great Reset. Nobody gives a damn. And that's what's happening. A lot of the people who are on the right doing this. But you said America first. Why are we doing that? Israel and giving them free money, that's not America first. Why are you doing that? You see what I'm saying? So and left dynamic is kind of stupid at this point. It doesn't work anymore. The liberal versus the conservative doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work anymore. Do you think that the people who got fired from the federal government, did it matter that they were conservative or liberal? No. It didn't matter. They didn't say, hey, are you a conservative? You keep your job. Your federal job, you keep it. No. This is not about liberal and conservative anymore. Those people who are losing their farms, they're not saying, hey, we're going to give subsidies to you because you're a conservative and you voted for us. Now, the liberals, fuck them farmers. They're not doing that. This is an equal opportunity failure, okay? So get out of that dynamic. You're silly if you keep on doing the dog chasing your tail shit, talking about liberal versus conservative. This is not what that is. That's old propaganda. We're in a new age. You got to move your mind. Even Candace Owens said it the other day. She said at this point, and they said, oh, she's trying to rebrand. No, she's dealing with reality. Candace Owens is dealing with reality. This ain't no right versus left. That's not what this is. Go argue with the people who got fired from the federal government and can never return. Go argue with the farmers who are conservatives who voted MAGA and they are losing their farms and there's no fail-safe. Go argue with the people who can't get help in all of the Southeast and California, citizens who paid into a system. Go argue with them. It's a lot of conservatives in there, okay? They can't get money from the federal government at all. No help. FEMA shut down on them. But Israel, Ukraine, everybody else can get money. Make it make sense. Is that a conservative and a liberal thing? That the citizens who are from the country don't get any support, any help, right? But the people outside get the help. They get money for bombs. They get money, $4 billion. Did they give $4 billion to the people in the Southeast from that last storm? Did they give them any money? In the citizens? But they giving it to not. You see what I'm saying? This ain't no liberal, conservative shit. That's old. That's over. That's over. The Veterans Affairs and the veterans, they're not asking you, oh, we're going to make sure you get your benefits because you were conservative. It's not about that. You got to get your mind out of talking about conservative and liberal. We're talking about real effects on real people. It's not mattering whether you're conservative or a liberal. You're not getting your veterans benefits, right? It's not going to matter whether you are liberal or conservative. There's no them versus us. Everybody is suffering. And as long as they get you to talk about liberal versus conservative, then you're the dog chasing your tail. You're not seeing that we're all suffering no matter what you believe. We're all citizens, though. Fuck all that red and blue and liberal and conservative. We're all citizens. We've all paid into the system. We got to see that. It's a great reset. Those old dynamics don't work anymore. And if you keep going with those dynamics, that just means you don't want to see the reality of what's right here happening in your face. You don't need to do a spin on politics. Just look at facts. Take politics out of it. Take politics out of it. Just look at the facts. Does anybody say, oh, the stock market, oh, don't fuck the stock market up for the people who voted MAGA? Just make sure the liberals are affected by the stock market. It's not working like that, brother. That's an old dynamic. We're all in the same bowl together. The left versus right. The answer ain't politics. The answer is the results. What is the results of the tariffs? Are tariffs only hurting society? We got to get out of that right-left bullshit. That's stupid at this point. The effect is the same on everybody. People are losing no matter what you believe in. No matter whether you vote or not, you're losing, okay? And when I say losing, you're not gaining. I'm not humdrum. What's up, who said preach? Yeah, we got to get out of that. You said everybody's not suffering. Okay, good point. Everybody's not suffering. I'm going to tell you why everybody's not suffering. People say it, but I'm going to put it to you this way. The more invested you are in the things that matter in America, the more invested you are in the stuff that has power and influence, the more invested you are in the resources, that's the ones that's suffering, okay? So, for example, I'm not affected when people lose food stamps, okay? I'm not going to be affected when people lose Social Security. I just said that earlier. I'm not affected, right? So I'm not going to suffer. But that's when you say everybody's not suffering, are you sure? Everybody or will suffer differently. I won't suffer from food stamps. I won't suffer from cuts in Section 8. I will not suffer from Medicaid or Medicare cuts. I got private insurance. I will not suffer from food stamps. I buy my own. I grow my own. You understand? I'm not going to suffer like that. But where I will suffer is when everybody wants to price gouge, right? Everybody's going to suffer from price gouging. Let's not play games now. Everybody's suffering from inflation. You're not suffering from inflation, brother? You're not dealing with inflation. You different? You getting a different price at the grocery store than me? I'm just asking. That's a form of suffering and loss. When I have to spend $200 where I used to spend $50 and it keeps going up. When the eggs are going up to $9, I'm just asking. Are you paying $2 for eggs and I'm paying $9? I'm just saying. You said you're not suffering. You're not dealing with inflation? Huh? You like to do that left-right bullshit, but that shit ain't real. Everybody's suffering from the same shit. You a homeowner. I'm a homeowner. Guess what? My house taxes increased, and they keep increasing. Think about it. This squeeze is on. Everybody who can lift prices is lifting them. They are squeezing. You can only get so much juice out of the motherfucking orange, okay? Let's not nobody suffering because you like Trump. Let's not do that. Let's keep it real. Going up. My home insurance is going up. There are people who cannot buy a home because the inflation and the price of housing is so high. There are people who are going homeless, and you say nobody's suffering. Not everybody's suffering. Okay? If you live with your mama and you don't work, you might not be suffering. But if you are a worker and you have insecurity that your job, which is from the federal government, may be gone, there's suffering, insecurity there. Okay? If you are a state or local government employee, you need to be concerned because the government jobs are no longer here. Why do I say that? Because the federal government funds, and we see the federal government is pulling funding back. The federal government subsidizes governments at effect at the state level. Now, the private sector is going to do the same thing. We got to make up for that. Our investors ain't going for that bullshit. We're going to have mass layoffs. We're going to get these motherfuckers out of here. And when they hire people back again at some point, guess what? They're going to pay a whole lot less money because people are going to be desperate to work. So the people who used to work for $40 an hour are going to have to work for $10 an hour. You see what I'm saying? Everybody, it's only arrogance and silliness that makes us think that we're going to be exempt from the suffering. Inflation is serious. When the gas prices go up, we all get them goddamn gas prices. We all paying $9 for eggs. I quit eating eggs. I don't play the game. I don't play the game. But there are people who need an apartment. There are people who need somewhere to stay. There are people with dreams. They want to own a house. That shit is it's not even an option no more. Think about it. We can't sit here and pretend that we so big and bad and above it. Like I said, if you off the grid, if you're living off the grid, meaning you don't contribute nothing to society, you probably won't be fucking affected, right? There are people who are living off of other people. For example, right? They don't pay no rent. They don't pay no utilities. I just found the other day they was price gouging me on my business internet. Motherfuckers just decided to just out of nowhere just raise my shit because I'm on auto debit. They're doing shit like that. They just going up on stuff just because they feel like it. Raise it $5, raise it $10, raise it 30%. They're doing shit like that. If you were in business, you would know. The prices you used to pay, I used to pay $7 for a fucking chair. That same chair right now is $13 fucking dollars. During COVID, that same chair was $8. And imagine I got to buy 100 chairs. Now we're talking about $2,800. You see what I'm saying? Inflation ain't no joke. And the thing is, going to run a lot of businesses out of, I used to do so I use my own business, for example. I would rent a round table for $10, right? Now, if I have to import that table that used to cost me $80 to buy before COVID, and now that same table, that round table is $250. And then they add tariffs on top of that and taxes and all this other shit. Now that same table that used to cost $80 costs $300. What the fuck do you think I'm going to rent that table for? Think about it now. You think I'm still renting that table at $10? Inflation, rent goes up, the price of gas goes up. People are struggling and stuff, and they can barely afford it. So that $10 table I used to have to rent for $16. So now I've cut my customers up in an inflation and a downward spiral of a recession. I have just increased the prices on my customers from $10 to $16 because of tariffs and taxes and the inflation. I went from $10 to $16. So guess what? At some point, I'm going to lose business. People are going to say, but I paid $10 last year, May. Why are you charging me this much? It's like 50% increase, May. I can't order. That's okay. I'll just have a party at home. You see? You see how that works? People shut down. When you start going up and up and up in prices and inflation, people stop buying. Guess what happened when the eggs went to $9? Guess what? May don't want no motherfucking eggs. I don't eat no eggs no more. Y'all used to see me. I used to make eggs every goddamn morning. Over there scrambling eggs. I ain't ate an egg in 3 fucking months. People quit. It's called a recession. And if people quit long enough, it becomes a depression. And what I'm telling you is this is a transnational corporation, and everybody's going to suffer, whether you are a Democrat or you are a Republican or independent. And if you don't think so, then you're not looking. That's all I'm saying. This is a transnational corporation, and whiteness is going to destroy the world. Let me read these comments. I know you just said some bullshit, DDS. You've been getting on my nerves lately. Let me see. He says, suffering. You say everybody is suffering. You think motherfuckers eating the same eggs they was eating? Come on, man. Why you trying to play games and act like you just want to be contrary? That's all you ever do. You said, May, where are the facts I love? You said, where are the facts I love? You said, I love to see these globalist hands. You don't pay attention. That's your problem. You ain't paying attention. This is not just shit I'm saying. Everybody sees it. The globalist hands. Look at fucking Elon Musk. What do you need to see? Elon Musk is a globalist hand. This United States. What is he doing? He's not elected. Nobody picked his ass. That's a globalist hand. What you don't understand? Facebook, Amazon, these are globalist hands. They're transnational corporations. What are you talking about? DDS, you better come at me correct. You know I don't even play that. You know I don't even play that. Let me see if I can get this thing to go back. I just finished cleaning. Now I got to chop all this shit. Okay, chat filter, all messages. Okay, it's back. DDS, why you talking trash? Why you talking trash? Talking about you want to see the globalist hands. You see the globalist hands. You don't want to see them. You ain't looking. You don't want to look at them. That's all. Okay, you said I'm going to leave you alone. Talk to you later. I know you do. I'll eat your ass up. You know, I don't even play with you. You like to just talk trash. And that shit don't mean nothing. You just like to be contrary. Troublemaking ass. I'm talking some real shit and you over here playing. Whatever. So what I'm saying, I'm going to blame the white man. I'm just saying, blame the white man for all of it. What I said earlier when I started the stream, they are the ones that create these tariffs, these territories, these countries, these passports, this I own land, you don't own land, sovereignty, this, that, da, da, da. They create kingdoms and governments and all this fake ass bullshit, the IMF, the global currency, the trade, the stock market. They created all this and they call it modernism, but it only works for a handful of people. It's trash. It's garbage. We are in an empire built upon dirt. We are in an empire built upon dirt. And it is raining. It is monsoon season. And the water is going to wash it all away. And all I'm saying is people need to open their eyes and be prepared. It's not humdrum depression. It's not anything. Just be prepared. Be prepared and understand what is happening. Don't waste your time believing lies. Don't waste your time arguing with people and being manipulated by the propaganda. It's motherfucking going down. It's going down. Everybody gonna live, but the lifestyle that we will live as we go forward, Generation Z, Generation A, it's gonna be different. The whole society is transitioning. So-called superpower is having a great reset. Ashe, I'm